Hey guys, welcome to V classes. Today we'll learn about eigenvalue and eigenvector of a linear operator. So let's start. Let T be a linear operator on an inner product space V over F. A scalar lambda is said to be an eigenvalue of T if there exists a non-zero vector u such that image of u is lambda times of u. Okay, if there exists such a scalar lambda and we have a non-zero vector u such that image of u is lambda times of itself, then such a vector is called eigenvector of T and the scalar lambda is called eigenvalue of T. So we have to make sure that eigenvector is such a vector which is always a non-zero vector. Okay, eigenvector is always a non-zero vector. Follow? Now we'll discuss some theorems. So our first theorem states that the eigenvalues of a self-adjoint operator defined on an inner product space are always real. That means if we are having a self-adjoint operator, then its eigenvalues will always be real. So for proving this, let T V to V be a self-adjoint operator. That is T is equals to T star. Clear? Now for proving that eigenvalues are real, let us consider that lambda be an eigenvalue of T and u be the corresponding eigenvector okay. So therefore by definition of eigenvalue and vector, T of u must be equals to lambda of u. Clear? Now we have to prove that lambda is real. So for prove lambda is real. So for proving that lambda is real, we are going to prove that lambda is equal to its conjugate. Okay. So for this, let us consider the inner product of image of u with itself. Now since T of u is equals to lambda times of u, we will put the value of T of u in this inner product and we will get inner product of lambda u with u. Since lambda is in the first vector, so by properties of inner product, lambda will come out and we'll have lambda times of inner product of u with u. Also T of u and its inner product with u is equals to, now by using the definition of adjoint we can write this as inner product of u with T star of u. But since T is self-adjoint, therefore this is equals to inner product of u with T of u. But T of u is equals to lambda times of u, therefore this is equals to inner product of u with lambda times of u. Now since lambda is in the second vector, so by properties of inner product, lambda bar will come outside and we'll have lambda bar times of inner product of u with u. Now consider equation first and second. LHS is same, so RHS will be equal. So we have lambda times of inner product of u with u is equals to lambda bar times of inner product of u with u. Shifting this on the right hand side and simplifying, we have lambda minus lambda bar times of inner product of u with u equals to 0. Now this is a scalar quantity and we know that inner product is also a scalar quantity. So two scalars, the product of two scalars is equals to 0. So either lambda minus lambda bar is equals to 0 or inner product of u with u equals to 0. But inner product of u with u equals to 0 if and only if u is 0. But u is an eigenvector. So therefore u cannot be equals to 0. So this implies lambda minus lambda bar must be equals to 0. That is lambda is equals to lambda bar, and thus lambda is real. So this was required to be proved. Now let us consider next theorem. This theorem states that let T be a symmetric transformation on an inner product space. That means T is a self-adjoint operator. If x and y are eigenvectors of T corresponding to different eigenvalues, then x and y are orthogonal. So this theorem states that eigenvectors corresponding to different eigenvalues are always orthogonal. So for proving this, let T v to v be a self-adjoint operator. And let x and y belongings to v are eigenvectors of T corresponding to different eigenvalues lambda 1 and lambda 2 respectively. Now since lambda 1 and lambda 2 are different, that is lambda 1 is not equals to lambda 2. We have to prove that x and y are orthogonal. That is, we will prove that inner product of x with y is equals to 0. So for proving this, let us consider the inner product of image of x with y. So this is equals to, since T of x, now x is eigenvector corresponding to the eigenvalue lambda 1. So this implies T of x is equals to lambda 1 times of x. Similarly, y is eigenvector corresponding to lambda 2. So T of y is equals to lambda 2 times of y. So putting the value of T of x here, we'll have this equals to inner product of lambda 1 times of x with y. And this can be written as lambda 1 times of inner product of x with y. Similarly, this can be simplified as, by using the definition of adjoint, we can write this inner product as inner product of x with t star of y. But t is symmetric operator, that is t is self-adjoint. So by definition of self-adjoint, we can write this as inner product of x with t of y. But t of y is equals to lambda 2 times of y. So this is equals to inner product of x with lambda 2 times of y. And by properties of inner product, this can be written as lambda 2 bar times of inner product of x with y. So again, consider first and second. LHS is same, in both the equations. Therefore, RHS must be equal. So we have lambda 1 times of inner product of x with y is equals to lambda 2 times of inner bar times of inner product of x with y. So therefore this is equals to lambda 1 times of inner product of x with y minus lambda 2 bar times of inner product of x with y equals to 0. And this can be written as lambda 1 minus lambda 2 bar, and this is into inner product of x with y. Followed? But in the previous theorem we have proved that if T is self-adjoint, then its eigen values are always real. So that means lambda 2 would be real. So lambda 1 minus lambda 2, since lambda 2 bar would be equals to lambda 2. So into inner product of x with y equals to 0. Again, the product of two scalars is equals to 0. So this implies either lambda 1 minus lambda 2 equals to 0 or inner product of x with y equals to 0. But in the statements we were given that these are different eigenvalues. So lambda 1 cannot be equals to lambda 2. So this is not possible. So therefore inner product of x with y is 0. That is x and y are orthogonal. So eigenvectors corresponding to different eigenvalues for a self-adjoint operator are always orthogonal. Okay? So thanks for watching. That's all for today. See you in the next lecture.